Okay, guys, so we're going to learn how to name ketones now. So in IUPAC naming system, we are going to use our same alkane name for our base chain. And again, there's a typo on this slide. I apologize. We're going to replace the E in the alkane name with O-N-E. Own is how you pronounce it. Number the carbon chain starting at the end closest to the carbonyl, and you need to make sure you indicate the position of the carbonyl. So in our last, when we were naming aldehydes, we didn't have to indicate the position of the carbonyl because it had to, by definition, be on the end. But this time, it, by definition, cannot be on the end, so we have to indicate where it is. Then we're going to name and number our substituents, list alphabetically, as always. So let's do an example of this guy, with this guy here. So my base chain, if I just count my carbons, we have 5 carbons long. So before, I'm going to try and do these in order, my steps in order. I like going out of order. But our first step is to just have our parent chain name. So I have 5 carbons, so it would be pentane, but I'm going to get rid of the E, and I'm going to replace that with O-N-E. So pentanone is the name, O-N-E, pentanone. And then now let's number and indicate the location of the carbonyl. So I'm going to number starting with the end closest to my carbonyl. So this is number 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm showing that I have my carbonyl at carbon number 2. So I'm going to put a 2 in the front of pentanone to show that the one is at number 2. And then I'm going to put my substituents. So in this case, we have 1 substituent. At carbon number 4, we have a methyl group. So 4-methyl-2-pentanone is the name of this molecule. Okay, we also have to put or look a little bit into naming cyclic ketones because those happen fairly often. We're going to put our number 1 carbon label our number 1 on the carbonyl. And then number on the carbon chain to give us our lowest set of substituent numbers. So let's just try it. We have, if we put number 1 at the carbonyl, if we go down instead of to the right, if we go down, we hit our next substituent right there. So I'm going to put number 2 here, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I have 6 carbons, my parent chain name would have been cyclohexane. However, because I have a carbonyl or a ketone, let me be more specific, I'm going to get rid of the E and replace it with O-N-E. So cyclohexanone. We don't need to say where the carbonyl is because we have to, by definition, put it at the number 1. And then we need to label where the rest of our substituents are. So I have 1 at the number 2, 1 at the number 4. They need to be listed alphabetically. So chloro comes before methyl. So we have 4-chloro, 2-methyl, cyclohexanone. Okay, and then additionally, we do have common names for ketones. The only one you really need to memorize in terms of, it's kind of a weird one, is acetone. So acetone is the molecule that is in, that was a really bad drawing. It's the solvent or molecule responsible for nail polish remover. So if you hate the smell of nail polish remover, it's because you hate the smell of acetone. It's kind of strong sometimes, but acetone is when you have 3 carbons and a carbonyl in the middle. Additionally, another way to use common names to name ketones is to list the groups surrounding the carbonyl carbon alphabetically and then put ketone at the end. So very similar to how you name ethers is how you would name ketones in the common names. So looking at this first molecule here, I have an ethyl group and a methyl. Ethyl group and a methyl. So the name of this would be ethyl methyl ketone, specifically because ethyl comes first in the alphabet. And then over here on the other side, let's do color code. We have on one side, we have ethyl. On the other side, we have propyl. So it's also important, notice how I am not circling the carbonyl carbon. Those are not counted in the numbering for what we're saying is on either side. So the name of this molecule would then be ethyl propyl ketone, to show that we have an ethyl group and a propyl group, one on either side, and it's a ketone. And that's all with naming ketones. We'll do some more practice with this later. See you guys there.